So what is signal in Godot? Short answer, when something happens. Almost everything is about this. Then there is a sender and a receiver. So when something happens, it triggers the sender signal and the sender send the signal to the receiver. Stop. What the fuck? Okay, don't worry. First question, how signal work? The full process of signal is just 3 words. Define, emit, connect. Define, emit, connect. Okay. But there's 2 types of signal in Godot, which is built-in signal and custom signal. The difference is in the signal process. So for built-in signal, it already define, already emit. Your job is only connect. But for custom signal, you need to define yourself, emit yourself, connect yourself. So let's look at built-in signal first. As we mentioned, you only need to connect. So the question now becomes how to connect. There's 2 ways to connect, whether using GUI or code. First, for GUI, this is the simplest way. Okay, here in Godot, I have a button node and then I have a script attached to the button. And then when you hit any node in Godot and you go to the right side, the node here, this is all built-in signal. So to connect built-in signal to this script, you simply double click, connect. And then you can write any code here. Let's say we print something. Now when we hit the button, it works. Yeah, simple. Next. Now to connect signal using code, we will see example in custom signal. But before connect, we need to define emit. So how to define? So we have a simple counter here. When I hit this button, it plus. Yeah. So you can see the setup here. I have a VBox container and then a label and button. And then we have a variable called count. We have a add score function also to add the count. Now let's say we want to create a custom signal every time the score changes. So first, how to define? Define signal is really similar to variable. You define variable using keyword var, but for signal, you define signal using keyword signal. Yeah, I guess you know it. In this case, score change. So we define a signal already. Now, how to emit? Because we want the signal to emit every time the score changes. So in the add score function, we simply type the signal name dot emit. Yeah, that's it. The last thing to do is connect. But connect to what? You need to connect to a function. But in this case, we don't have. So we create a new function called onScoreChange. And for simple example, we can print something like score change. Yeah, I think this is really bad example actually. So now we want to connect this signal to this function. You go to your ready function and then signal name dot connect. Connect to what? Connect to the score change function. But you need to delete these curly braces. Remember this. Yeah, now when we play, you can see it connected. Alright, if you put these curly braces, error, yeah, free. But what if you want to connect the signal in different script? For example, here I attach the script to the button instead. We need to connect this score change signal to this function in this script. But don't worry, you only need one more step, which is to access the node where the signal located. Then this time you need to type the node name dot signal name. Okay, here we have a problem. It don't have autocomplete. There's no way you memorize everything. So what is the solution? Solution is we give the node a class name. But if you wonder what the fuck, what is the class name? A short answer is class name is for autocomplete. Yeah, that's it. This is somehow another topic also. So we give this counter for example. Then when you go back to the button script and then delete everything and Ctrl F click access the node again, you will see Godot assign a counter class for it. So when we type the node name dot then connect to the function and then delete curly braces. Okay, connected in button to show the difference. And now when we play and we hit the button, it works. Congratulations, if you are a beginner, this is all you need to know 80% of the time. Now I want to dive deeper into something called global signal. Sometimes people call this signal bus for some reason. I have no idea why. Why don't call this signal car or signal boat, signal rocket? Okay, we call this signal rocket. Anyway, why use global signal? When your project scale up and become complicated, your tree structure will become so deep like this or even deeper. Often you will realize your code becomes so messy. So what is the solution? The solution is you create a script in the top level instead. This script is auto load. Now after you do this, a big benefit is you can emit signal in any script and connect signal in any script without worry about how to access the node. I will not go deeper in this video. I think this can be a fucking separate video instead. Yeah, so that's it. Good luck. Have a nice day.